Hi everyone. Happy Friday. um so I've opened my YouTube back up to kind of everyone. It's been on subscribers only for a while. But I wanted to kind of test the water, so don't disappoint me guys. um Priority will go to the folks that purchase a mini or full reading using the link in my description, or what else, or my subscribers. So hopefully I can tell that. I'll say my regulars. How's that? I know who my regulars are. Hi, everyone. So, for those of you who are new to my channel, I am Brittany, the Cosmic Lunar Soul. Welcome to my channel. Today, I am going to be starting off with some community reads. I'm going to be using these two decks, which is the Cowgirls and Aliens. Whoops. And the Therapets. And then I will be doing our regular tower readings with the Elridge Overload deck. Been loving this deck, been vibing lately in like a sort of spacey alien mood, apparently. So if you purchase a mini reading, you get bumped up the queue, you get added to the purchase queue, and you go ahead of folks. Just let me know in the chat if you've purchased, and you get more details. You get more time. All right. Also, my lovely mod in the chat, Luke, is saying don't forget to like this video because it does help with the algorithm. Where did my music go? Restream is wanting to be a butt today. There we go. Nice. Okay. So we're going to get started with the community read. Go ahead, guys. Keep using the exclamation point join. We see a few folks in the chat. And I'm going to pull a therapist card for all of us. While I do that, make sure you like this video. My little VTuber cam is not wanting to work right now. Last week, my ring light, this one here, literally broke right before the live. So I think Mercury is Gatorading right now really hard for me. All right, let's see what our community therapist card is. See what energy this has for us as a community. So as I'm shuffling, guys, clear your minds, release all the stress and energy from this crazy work week, if you've had a crazy work week, or just from the week behind. Alrighty, here. Let's see what we have. Oh, we have a cat. So this is you're important and you matter. So I want everybody in the community to know that you are important. You're important to me. Whether you're a subscriber, a member, or just someone who just discovered me 5 seconds ago, you are important in one way or another. Hey, Ari. Hi, Ruby. How are you guys doing today? We are doing our community read right now. You didn't miss the live. It's nice to have you, Ruby. And you got on time enough to see our community read. So we have the bartender. I feel like, did I pull this last week? This seems so familiar. I will give others support and listen with empathy. So I feel like this is the you are similar to the you are important and you are matter. Just understanding that, you know, sometimes it can feel like we're at the center of our own little universe. We get stuck in our own little bubbles and unintentionally just kind of push others to the wayside. And this card, I feel like it's just a reminder to tell people that they're important to you. Show more than tell that people are important to you, especially right now. Next, we have the telepath. I think these cards seem familiar because I think I pulled these during my flip through my recorded video. So the telepath says, I am compassionate and will show others understanding and respect. Love it. And I love how she is sitting, she's meditating and has her third eye open. So this is all about being intuitive and knowing who is deserving of your time and energy. I feel like by default, right, as a society, there's a general level of respect, but there's also a little extra energy and focus that certain people earn from you. And I think this is saying, like, be a little more intuitive when you should not give that extra energy to people. And I don't mean that to say be disrespectful or anything like that. I just mean, like, some people deserve to just be pushed off and, held at a distance, while others maybe deserve a little bit more of your attention. Let's see. Let's do one more card as a community before we get into the reads. Ooh, we have the Gunslinger Badass. This is, I will keep practicing until I master my craft. So I think these other two cards are all about how you externalize yourself to others, but this one is all about you. This is your personal growth, you finding the things that you think are important to you and focusing on them in order to grow them and nurture them and watch them blossom. So guys, if you have stuff that is important that you might have been putting off and you're willing to share, let me know in the chat. I will be curious to hear your guys' stories. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get into the first reading. So let me read off who I have in the queue. So that way, if you don't hear your name, use !join to join. I have Luke, Hot Sun, Chaime, hopefully I'm saying that right, Mariana, Noku, Ari, and Carrie. So if you didn't hear your if you didn't hear your name, I moved my entire backdrop there. If you didn't hear your name, use !join to join. Yeah, one of those days. Ooh, you should, Ruby. So Sil laughed so hard when I got this because she was so shocked. She didn't think that I would enjoy it. But it vibes so well with this deck. You'll see later. Oh, look. Thank you. All right. So Luke's number one in the queue, but he also purchased. So I'm going to go ahead and give him let me see. What did you purchase? The mini reading? We'll pull up my dashboard real quick. Okay, Luke, you are the official first patron of a mini reading on my deck. Or on my live. Oh my gosh. So let me know what your question. Oh, full. Sorry. Yep. Okay. Full reading. Okay. Post your question and I will pull a few of these. If you want a therapist card, just let me know. I'll gladly do one just as an overall vibe, not necessarily related to your question. I don't know, Hot Sun. I try to be as bare minimum of an adult as I'm legally required to be. Meaning I keep myself fed, I keep myself housed, and then I blow money on fun things. Oh, you did a live stream, Ruby? I didn't realize. Was it like a live tarot reading thing, or were you, or was it like a live discussion? All right, Luke, I'm going to reshape your question a little bit to give you a little bit more detail there. So, um, you want to know if you made a mistake shifting your spiritual practice. So, I'm going to just see how your spiritual practice is going and overall advice within that sphere. So, I'm going to pull some oracle cards for you. These are going to be like something for you to reflect on in reference to your spiritual practice. I feel like these are going to be like gaps or advice for you. And then the tarot will go into more detail. So we have the android. I will seek truth. I feel like you're doing that right now, right? So I will seek truth. There's layers to that, meaning, Luke, like you're asking if you made a mistake, but ask yourself, what is it that you're feeling that makes you think that you have made a mistake? Or what is it that's missing that makes you feel like you've made a mistake? Either way, like kind of garner the truth in the situation. And then here we have our community card back. We have the telepath. And just as a reminder, this is about being compassionate and showing respect. I think in this regard, it's about showing respect to your own practice. So what I mean by that in reference to you feeling like you're doing something wrong is that, if we go back to her specifically, she has her third eye open and she's looking with her third eye. So this is more so like respecting the decisions that you've made so far and then looking at it more intuitively and less like emotionally, logically, which can be really hard to do sometimes. I know this for a fact for myself that it can be really hard when it's something that's really, really important to you, like your spiritual practice. But I think with the telepath here, just looking at her, I feel like she is the quintessential symbol of a spiritual practice. So it doesn't feel like you're inherently doing anything wrong. I also don't think that there's anything inherently right or wrong in how you shift and how people shift and grow in their practice. I think you just need to be a little bit more intuitive about the decisions you make for yourself and also look more intuitively about how you feel about those decisions you make. Are they rational? Are they more so something that you have to build up over time? I'm just giving you like examples of things that you can start to internalize and sit with. Here we have the shapeshifter, which I really, really like. I feel like this really reinforces the fact that you're not doing anything wrong. The shapeshifter, sorry, I'm blind, so I'm going to pull it close to my face. I will get to know my true self and be comfortable with who I am. I think this is saying, Luke, be comfortable with the way that your practice is right now, how you go about shifting your practice, because obviously it's going to shift again. It's going to shift again and again and again. And you can't keep second guessing every time that shift happens, right? We're kind of sometimes forced into a shift. Let's see what the tarot says. So I'm going to be a little quiet here. I'm going to let you reflect on what we have, the oracle. I'm going to pull some cards until I feel like intuitively I don't need to anymore. So just let me kind of work through that process. Let me move this out of the way. Okay. I'm gonna pull one more and then we'll kind of look at everything. All right, I'm going to shift everything up. You kind of saw the oracle cards, so if you need to, you can afterwards go back and look at it. So you have the Eight of Coins, the Queen of Coins, and then the Three of Potions. We have the Four of Coins and the Hermit. So needless to say, you have a lot of earth energy here. I really think like your overall advice is really to slow down, ground yourself in where you're at right now, Luke, and um give yourself a chance to reassess and sit with where you are in your practice and how things have changed and what that actually means for you. I actually so I'm just gonna I'm gonna start in the middle here with the Queen of Wands, or Queen of Coins rather, sorry. I think that you really like, oh, it's really impromptu. That's why you're wondering. The Queen of Pentacles is very grounded in how she navigates and how she chooses to nurture the things that are important to her. So the queen here mirrors a lot of this telepath card because queens are very intuitive. They are very much ones who overall have a really, really great control over how they focus their emotional energy. And the Queen of Pentacles specifically is very good at focusing that in a way that allows her to remain grounded, or it allows her to find stability and grow things from the foundation up in a very decisive way. So while you might have made this decision haphazardly, you're at the point now where you can sit with it for a little bit and reassess. And this is mirrored very much so down here with the Hermit. I feel like you're not a stranger to this Hermit. The Hermit asks us to look within a bit, but the Hermit is also mirrors that earth energy that we see in these other coins cards here, where while you are sitting with your decisions, Luke, I think that you're learning about where you're learning about why you made the decisions you did. It might have felt impromptu to you, for example, but there might have been small things that led up to it that made you do it, and you just didn't recognize it. So start to be comfortable with, or I don't want to say comfortable. Start to recognize what those signs were, what those little events were, what those inklings were, whatever they may be. It could have been feelings here with the Queen of Cups, or with this Three of Cups over here. It could have been slightly influenced from the people around you, your friends, your circle, whoever you tend to share those intimate details of your practice with more so. And it could be because as a result of the relationship that you have made in general. So I think that it's a little bit of a combination of all of that, those relationships and those influences, and how you that led up to what you felt was this impromptu change. Yeah, learning where you fit in. I love that you say that. Learning where you're fitting in, because with the Six of Coins, right? It's like Six of Coins can be really, really great, or it could be a little bit of a detriment to you. But paired with the Eight of Coins, the Eight of Pentacles, I think that this could be a really great opportunity where you find this balance of, you know, Eight of Coins with the Hermit. You're really working on yourself. You're building yourself up. You're building your practice. You're putting all of that energy in. And then the Six of Coins is where you start to feel like you can share that with the world and give back in certain kinds of ways. And there's a really lovely balance here that you just have to find. So if you're able to, you know, find that stability and groundedness, reflect on how the little things that led up to this moment, I think you'll start to see that you'll start to see that you probably have the ability to gain a lot more control over these shifts in the future, and you'll start to be able to see, like, maybe this is mirroring the Three of Cups here, where you're learning how your relationships and your desire to give back to those relationships kind of triggers all of the other stuff around it. It's very much a cycle. Everything's very connected. So, since this is my first, full reading on the live, I'll just kind of pause and explain that I try to reshape yes or no questions to give more of a discussion where you can sit and think about things and feel like you're more empowered to take away and do things for yourself that you might not have felt like you could before. So I always recommend go back and kind of re-listen and sit with it a little bit, and use that as your catalyst to start to work towards things. So because I really love this, I'm going to pull a therapist card. This is just sort of agnostic of the reading. This is more so like an affirmation. It's just an affirmation. No, definitely not, Luke. So here's a friendly reminder that the negative voice in your head is not you, and you're actually completely delightful. So I think that's a lovely way to just wrap up the reading and, really sit and reflect with how things are. And I think it really does, even though this is just a general affirmation, it really matches with everything else that's going on, in the sense that it's just a reminder that sometimes we feel like we're making mistakes because we are very hard on ourselves, but you're actually doing quite fine. I know, isn't this cat? And look how happy this cat is. It's just so cute. I love this little deck. Great. Thank you, Luke, for being my first full reading. Guys, are you doing anything for the full moon? Are you doing anything fun for just the weekend in general? I have nothing this week, but I'm really excited because next week I signed up to go to my first local book event. There are a few authors that I kind of want to meet. Yes, Luke, keep doing that. If I'm giving my personal advice, opinion based off of what I saw in the cards, I don't think you're doing anything wrong. You're just not trusting yourself necessarily. Yeah. So just give yourself a little bit of grace. Hi, Paul. Welcome. You're my lone Twitch person right now. I'm on Twitch and YouTube. So just going through my paid readings, and then I do have my queue. So up next, I have Hot Sun. Go ahead and put your question in the chat. Did I say full moon? I meant to say new moon if I said full moon, Ruby. Sorry, it's the let me see. It's the new moon in, was it Leo? Oh, my moon app tells me that there are thunderstorms nearby. That's so cool. Huh. Oh, certainly did not know that. Yes. New moon in Leo. Thank you for confirming. Happy birthday, Ruby. Carrie, not yet. All right, let's see what your connection with Matt is. Are you guys dating, friends, or something else? Hi, Reese. Risa, I guess for short. All right. Hot Sun, you have the King of Wands, the Five of Swords, and the oh my gosh, Seven of Cups. So mm, sorry, I'm just processing. So, there's in general, there's a lot of interesting energy. There's a lot of high energy around you guys. I don't know that it's all good, but I don't think it's all bad. It's kind of a little all over the place. Um, so the with the King of Wands, which is really funny because we were just talking about Leo season, and here we have this very fiery card. The King of Wands, Wands in general has that fire energy, and then Kings imbue the air energy, similar to the swords. So you have a lot of this. I want to say combustive and tumultuous is not the quite right word I'm looking for. You have a lot of energy that fuels itself, but I think that it is kind of like hot and heavy and a little superficial. There's really nothing here that grounds it in any kind of way. So I'll describe this, and this could be something you're looking for, and it could be something you're not. So that's totally up to you. Where it feels very much like this is like sometimes this is really fun and high energy and kind of really like, there's a little bit of mystery here, and it's very elusive but engaging at the same time. But then after you guys part, you realize like nothing happened. There's no forward movement here. It was fun. Oh, midnight. Yay. Thank you for letting me know. I will check my dashboard. So did you get the mini or the full midnight? So I think that if you're looking for a fun time, no commitment, I don't see anything wrong with going that way. There isn't anything inherently like bad or malicious or any ill intent that I see in this. I just don't see anything substantial. So if you're looking for something substantial, this is where you have to kind of like sit back and reassess. The Seven of Cups here tells me that Matt has plenty of other options and is probably giving the same general energy, the will he won't he kind of thing to all of them. And it doesn't seem like this is someone who is necessarily ready to commit to any one thing yet. So in the middle of the reading here, this is the part that gives me a little bit of pause, because the Five of Swords tells me that you're probably not having fun. Like if I'm intuiting what I see in the cards here, whether you're telling yourself you're having fun right now, but the reality is it's not exactly what you're looking for. It's sort of creates a little bit of this internal battle with yourself over like, should you keep engaging, should you not? And I'm sure as I'm describing this situation to you without like leading you to an answer, you're probably getting an overall vibe of what you think is or is not right for you. So you have to let me know, son, which way you're leaning on that. But I will say, these options, if this isn't something that you jive with, these options don't have to be just for Matt. This is probably also a sign for you to shop around, so to speak. If Matt is not meeting the ideals that you are looking for in a relationship. Now, like I said, if this is just fun times for a short time, then have your fun. Just know there are other things out there. Just know, like, Matt might have some other fun times as well. Um, hey, Estevez. How are my Twitch folks doing? I'm kind of like just getting new into the Twitch world, so yeah, I'm testing out the waters. Okay, he's not having any fun. Okay, he's going through a lot right now. So yeah, I think that this Five of Swords energy is definitely not limited to you then. It's probably something they're internalizing, which explains the really like hot and cold kind of thing. But I will say that I don't think it's malicious. I just don't think that there's anything. I don't think Matt has anything to give in terms of anything more substantial. So if that's something you want, I just don't think it's there right now. Estevez, I'm doing great. I'm happy it's finally Friday. We just had some lovely storms that were just like so calming. That just passed through, so hopefully you are doing well. Bye, Posset. Sorry it's taking so long. Alrighty, Midnight. Let me pull you out of the queue. So Midnight paid for a reading, so I'm going to do theirs. And then I have Chime, Mariana, Noku, Ari, Carrie, Mona, Risaneo Vibes, and Pretty in Pink. You're welcome, Hot Sun. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to like this video, guys. It helps with the algorithm. Okay, let's do you wanna feel good affirmation? Let me pop your question up. Oh, Rissa. I struggle so badly with names. I'm so sorry. I tried to do my best. You're more than welcome to be on either or if you'd like to join us over on YouTube. I definitely will not complain about that. All right, let's see. Let's pull a therapist card for you. Not bothering with this. There we go. All right, let's see. Card for Midnight. The voice that tells you that you aren't enough apparently doesn't know you at all. You're amazing. Okay, let's put this guy over here. Let's see what your week looks like. I'm gonna pull your oracle cards. Ooh, okay, this is the henchman. I love these ladies. Oh my gosh, I love this deck so much. I will collaborate with others to achieve amazing things. Um, I feel like, this is like a sign that you don't have to go it alone, really. Find a partner in crime, so to speak, to use to use the actions of the card. But yeah, just know that you don't have to go it alone. Find that support in the different factions of your circle when you need to, based off of what is going on. So we have here the time traveler. This says, I will embrace adventure and begin something new. So I really wonder, Midnight, if this is like, and we'll kind of look at it more in the cards. We'll see here, but I wonder if this is really asking you to, in finding support from the people around you, how can you distance yourself from what is going on and kind of reshape it and uh, create your own adventures in a good way. So let's pull another oracle card, and then we'll get into the tarot. One more. Whoop, here we go. We have the smuggler. So this is I will create my own opportunities in life. Oh, I was just, okay. So I was just saying that, kind of alluding to that, rather, I should say. I was alluding to you being able to reshape what is going on, either by putting it behind you completely if you're able to, or just deciding that you are going to put a pin in it, or using your support group to help you close out what is going on, the stuff that you're going through. But let's see overall. So that is your overall energy, right? It's not just for next week. I pulled your oracle cards to be more so just to be inclusive of next week, but overall, overall, just advice. Oh, that was not a good shuffle. Let me do one more shuffle, and then all right, here we go. Got a lot of aliens in that oracle too. So I wonder if there's, except for your little friendship card there. So I wonder if you're feeling disconnected, like you're like you're the alien of the group and feeling foreign and all of that. Okay. Just gonna pull some cards, just like I did for Luke. I'm gonna pull some cards until I feel like I've pulled enough. Got the extended, so I want to make sure I pull enough for you. So I meant to caveat this with the Luke. I generally pull just in order, like a straight line, unless I'm doing something intentional. But I don't have space to, so I'm stacking them. The stack doesn't necessarily mean anything. So for what Q doesn't work, but I think position does. Whoops. Uh-oh. There we go. Ah, beautiful card. A lot of stuff going on though. I'm gonna shift these up. You already saw your oracle cards, so that way we can kind of just see all of your tarot cards. I'm gonna pull one more just to round this off. So you have the Two of Swords, you have the Three of Coins, you have the Tower card here, then you have the Five of Wands, Six of Wands, and then the Knight of Wands. How weirdly sequential. Huh. Okay. Um, Sorry, I'm sitting with this. Uh, Almost completely sequential when it comes to um the numerology, except for these two. So, I'm just gonna kind of go in order then. Actually, I'm not. I'm gonna talk about. No, I'll go in order. You're catching me thinking in real time. So you're starting off here with some decisions that you have to make with the two of swords, but twos are that duality, that decision making prompt from tarot, but it's not just about that too. It feels very indicative of just being a little bit at a crossroads in general. So I guess to clarify, like when we're at a crossroads, we're usually asked to make a decision about go about um, how to go forward in so I closed the queue, guys, but everybody who's in it is in it. I just want to be able to get the queue down a little bit. So I think that you know I know I like how things are line up numerically sometimes. I think midnight, for next week, I really think since things feel so sequential, it really does. It's so like intentionally so where just take things a situation at a time, a day at a time, a piece at a time, and don't try to conquer everything at once, right? So going back to the original oracle, relying on friends, have them help you break that down if they have that capability, or just someone who can help you parse it out and decide. I think that there's a little bit of prioritization that's going to have to happen this week. Decide how you're going to tackle it, right? I'm sure you kind of already have an idea. This is about being more decisive about that idea. I'm sure it's floating around in there somewhere. And this three of coins reinforces that henchman card and having your hmm, circle, having your village, so to speak, where um you have people that you can kind of fall back on when your energy isn't enough to do it alone. And I think this part can be a little hard for people, being able to rely on people, but I think it's going to be very, very necessary in this next week. And I honestly think that this is a little bit outside of next week, this week and on, so to speak, where this week is where you're really putting down the foundational things about how you're going to handle things to come. And this is the more detailed, explained, expanded part of kind of what we're alluding to in the oracle, this path to being able to release things and close out chapters very intentionally. So this is going to be really, really important. Find your crew, find people that are important to you that way. And you have that with the pentacles, you have the earth energy, so they will help ground you, they'll help stabilize you. Don't be afraid to reach out to them um in this entire process. Doesn't have to be just next week. um I just feel like next week is going to be the catalyst, the start. So that all leads up to this tower here. I always tell people, tower tends to scare people that are at least generally familiar with tarot, but it doesn't have to be. It just means that maybe you kind of have a little bit of a plan and you've made some decisions, and there might be some wrenches thrown at you next week that you weren't intending for, you didn't plan for. But honestly, this is kind of a really good thing in the sense that it helps you get back down to that foundation, right? Breaks down those walls. It really helps you get back to your rawest point. It just feels awful at the time. It's like nobody wants to be the goo in the cocoon, right? So the tower can be really, really hard, and you just kind of had to remind yourself. I think that's why you have the tower paired here next to your three of cups, and you have a lot of reminders to have that mm, have those walls, those that support group. There we go. Have that support group for you. So as we move on from that throughout next week, you have the Five of Wands, right? Breaking down those walls, I feel like this is going to make you realize it might make you feel like you're gonna have to, you know, kind of have to fight the world a little bit, fight off one thing. I kind of explained like one thing after another, but I don't think that it's a bad thing. I think it's just the way the process, because immediately after you have the Six of Wands. So it's like, okay, you're kind of fighting a little bit. You've, put up your metaphysical fisticuffs, so to speak, and you have come out successful at the end of it. Um, yeah, it's gonna feel a little bit like an uphill battle until you get to about this point here, right? This leading up to and into the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands here is where things start to feel like a turn for you. There's an Eric's success to it. There's just feeling like you're being recognized for all of the work that you've put in, and overall you feel very victorious, and it's really cool. Like I mean, I love this guy here. He's, or she, whoever, they are standing up at a podium. People want to hear what they have to say, and just kind of like chill. Like I know I'm a boss bitch, and I did the thing and came out on top because of it, even though a little bit of this sucked on the way, but it is what it is. And then it just opens you up to a world of possibilities. So the Knight of Wands, this is more I love that it starts with like air. We have our air and pentacles. They kind of conflict with each other a bit. They fight each other in ways where you're wanting to ground, but air wants to move and just flow. And then you start to get into all of this comfortable fire energy where you feel like comfortable growing and just expanding. And the Knight of Wands here just literally, I won't say sailing off into the sunset, so to speak, but feeling like you are free to move forward. All of the obstacles have been moved away from you. Now, I just want to caveat when I say that, I mean a little pedantically, because life is full of obstacles and ups and downs. But in the things that you're talking about now, and the reason you probably asked for the reading, and how you are feeling about next week and how next week is going, you're starting to feel that things are opening up. So I want to say that your timeline for this was next week. I think that this is probably going to be a good portion of the week, this first row of tarot here. And then this is going to be the aftermath. So next week in general might feel a little hard, but give yourself a little grace and time. And I would say in that time, don't be too rash about things. Just kind of, let your team help you in the areas that you need help. Thank you, my moderator. And breathe. I love that. Yes, and breathe. Thank you, Midnight and Luke, for being my first patrons of of my live reads. Alrighty, guys. So I have up next Chai-Mei. I have in the queue Mariana, Noku, Ari, Carrie, Mona, Risa, Pretty in Pink, and Crow's Nest. So if you guys would like to be bumped up the queue, you can use my... Whoa, I don't know how to type. My tip link here. Whoops, this one. Alrighty, Mariana, you are up next. Don't see Chai-Mei in the chat, so just keep on going. Turn my little camera off since my little VTuber girl is struggling. There we go. Did I say Risa again? I'm so sorry. Marissa, I'm so sorry. Alrighty, up next we have Noku. Go ahead, Noku. Who else in the chat? Let me know who's still hanging out. Because if so, I will just skip around. Ooh, okay. Let's see what August has for you. Channel for August. Ooh, some repeats for the night. 2 repeats. So we have the Hermit. We have 7 of coins, and then we have the 5 of wands. We have a lot of different things that are going on, and sometimes that happens with general readings. I'll just kind of go in order. Start with your major arcana here with the Hermit. I think that with the Hermit, August is going to ask you to be a little more, spend time with yourself in August. Try not to overextend yourself, and try to... I feel like August is going to be a good month for you to do some like self-internalizing and just self-reflection and a lot of self-care in general. Because at the center of your reading, you have the 7 of coins. This is really the card that's like, you're really hunkering down, and you've been putting in a lot of hard work, and you're really focusing that hard work, and really just when you do that, sometimes you can get a little lost in the sauce and stuff. You're ready to be a menace. See, I feel like that's gonna be the end of August. I feel like that's gonna be more so in like, you're setting yourself up for that in August, but I don't know that it's gonna be most of August. I feel like most of August is gonna be this, whether you want it or not. No, I'm kidding, but that's just so funny. there is a little bit of a transition in this, right? Where, you have your hermit and it's all the reflecting stuff that you don't want to do anymore. And then you have the, kind of grinding a little bit. And then this is where you can just, like all of the energy releases. This is where, like, the Five of Wands can be a little combative at times. I don't really know exactly to what degree, but I don't think that this is like saying you're going to just go out and start fighting people. I think that this is really saying you're really going to go out guns blazing, in the sense that you're here to release a lot of that energy, enjoy a lot of the energy that's around you. And honestly, in this deck, the Five of Wands feels very just chaotic in a very good celebratory kind of way, even though the Five of Wands is not always that way. So I think that this is really capturing the high energy of the Five of Wands, but I don't think that's going to be until the tail end. Hi, Apollo. That's not gonna be until the tail end of August, so I'm sorry, like, based off of what I'm seeing. I will say too, like, this is a bit of a future reading, right? So you are fully capable of shortening this time if you don't want it to be that way. Man, I don't know. Times are the way times are, I feel like everybody should be throwing hands. But I think that there's a little bit of a balance for you in August, where some of it is really going to be internal and then some of it's going to be external. But at the center of it, it's just reminding you, even if you want to go forth and, be a menace, as you say, your words, not mine, there's still that reminder to stay grounded in all of this, because you don't want to just give away all of that energy that you have been building up through this reflective, introspective period. Um, you don't want to fall prey to just, building it up, and then expending it, and then being drained, and then starting the cycle over. So make sure you just ground it and, um, like, reassess as you go on. Just, be a little what's the word? Be a little stingy with where you put your energy. Yeah, it's definitely going to seep into August, I would say. And, big takeaway, be the menace you want to be, just ground yourself throughout it. I think that would probably be my, like, too long to read. But if it makes you feel better, that probably just means you're going to be that much more of a menace in September. Mariana, if you're still in the chat, there might be a delay. If you're still here, like, I'll give you like 1 minute. Let me know you're still here and I can do your reading. You are fourth in queue. Yeah. Hey, Kosh. To Kosh. So remember, guys, if you would like to skip my queue and get a more in-depth reading, you can use my tip link to buy a full or mini read. like midnight and Luke did. All right, so August, we have the Queen of Pentacles. I'm sorry, Queen of Cups. I'm in Pentacles mode for some reason. Five of Cups and the Six of Wands. I feel like August is gonna be a little hard. Where like, have a good night, Noku. Have a great weekend. So I feel like August is gonna be a little hard. The Five of Cups to me indicates that like emotionally, it's just gonna be a very hard month in terms of feeling like you are not being fulfilled in the way that you want to be fulfilled emotionally. The queen here suggests that you're trying. August is not going to be a month that you're just letting things happen. You're trying to put the right foot forward. You're trying to embrace and nurture the right things for you. It's just, I feel like you might be feeling like they don't work out. And the caveat with the oh my God, why am I in Pentacles and Wands so much? The Five of Cups, the caveat is that sometimes you're focusing on the wrong things when like things that are working for us are happening in the background. And because they're not so upfront and center, you don't realize that there are these good things that are working for you right now. And then because of that, we end up dwelling on the things that are in front of us that aren't working out well. And then this ends up seeping into our mood overall, where we have this six of, I'm sorry, I said six, I meant nine of Wands in reverse. So it feels like, Nine of Wands is about being resilient and fighting through to the end. But the Nine of Wands, when it's reversed, is like feeling like you have no reason to be resilient. You have no reason to keep fighting through and building and, putting any more energy than you already have, because you're focusing on these things that are draining you, in the sense that you see they're not working out. So emotionally, they're draining you, and therefore you just are too exhausted to even bother fighting through any of that. So looking sort of like zooming out a little bit, looking at the tarot here, I think my advice for you in August is to decentralize the things that are not working for you and centralize the things that are. It just might be a little bit of a search to see and feel what those things are, but you need to do that so you can avoid this Nine of Wands thing that's going on. Because if we can flip this energy, this can be a really good August for you, where you feel like you are recovering from those things that you felt like you were not doing so hot in, and you recognize the things that are going well, and therefore you feel like, I can power through to the end, get through all of those other things that aren't working. You have like a rejuvenated energy. So yeah, that would be my advice based off of your cards for August. Hey Sheen or Sean, sorry, Sean. My queue is closed for the night. Ari, go ahead, put your question in chat. Let me read off who I have. I have Carrie, Mona, Marissa, Pretty in Pink, and Crow's Nest. You're welcome, Mariana. Let me know, guys. Yeah, you can ask. Really, the only thing that I don't do, Marissa, that's a great question for you guys, since I have some new folks in the chat tonight. The only things I don't do are like deity stuff. Um, I won't do like third party things like what so and so is feeling, so and so's intentions, nothing like that. And I'm not going to do like pregnancy, health, legal things because I'm not a doctor and I'm not a lawyer. And honestly, getting on my soapbox, um, uh, if anybody does pregnancy readings, that is a red flag in the tarot world. They are predatory readers, and yeah, you should avoid them like the plague. So people tend to just ask general readings a lot because a lot of people I think just, assuming on my part, people ask general readings because they feel like there's something, but they don't know how to externalize it as an actual question. So nothing wrong with that. People ask a lot of love questions because that's kind of just in general what's popular in the tarot world. Nothing inherently wrong with that. It's just, it is what's popular. So you tend to see a lot of those too. Good job, Ruby. I'm so proud of you. Now I don't have to shit talk you offline. Okay, Ari, let's see. Queen Luna repeat. Queen Luna has arrived, y'all. But she's not ready to go uppies yet. And last card. Here we go. So we have the Queen of Pentacles, Queen. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with Pentacles. Knock it off, Britt. Okay, Queen of Cups. We have the 10 of Pentacles for real this time, and we have the 3 of Pentacles. All right, so there's nothing inherently wrong in general. I think that this reading really insinuates that you're not stepping into the right energy for yourself. This feels very central to you. So with the Queen of Cups, I always kind of explain the yes, Taurus gang. I always explain the court cards because I think court cards confuse people, so I try to give as much explanation as I can. Queens are confident in themselves in the sense that they know they are putting their emotions towards the right things. They're intuitive, they're very wise in that regard, in that subject, and therefore they know how to nurture the right thing. I think for you, that can be the case, but isn't yet. So it's like you have that potential, but you just haven't really tapped into it yet, and therefore your energy, your emotions, your focus tends to go into places that end up not really serving you. It doesn't serve these other goals that we see here in the rest of the reading. The Queen of Cups, I think that I feel like I pull queens for you often. I could be misremembering. Hopefully you remember better than I do. But I think the Queen just reminds you that you have the potential, you have it, you just aren't engaging with it, you aren't focusing it in the right ways based off of like past readings of just searching for romance in the wrong places and stuff like that. I think that's really what this is alluding to, because really, outside of this, the rest of the reading indicates that there's really no other reason for it, because you really have, like, you have the goal of being able to settle down with the Ten of Pentacles. Um, Ten of Pentacles is that familial card where you feel like you're building a family. Tens in general is really feeling like you can close out a chapter and usually stepping into a new one. This is the end of the minor arcana being at the center of your reading, and I think that, just looking at this intuitively, I think that there should be more of a connection between these two, and there's not. So there's a little bit of a disconnect, and that's just a part of, like, growing up and experience and applying lessons learned in life, and that's kind of how you bridge that gap. And then on the other side, we have the Three of Coins. This can kind of go two ways, the way that I see it. So part of this is that perhaps you are surrounding yourself around the wrong people that reinforce the not being able to step into this queen energy, where they are aligned and you're misfocused. So what I mean by that is, you have a social circle that's not horrible. They're not bad people. It's just that maybe the way that you guys move don't align with what your goals are and your potential are. And sometimes it is what it is. That means these people are usually, like, good for a fun time, not a long time, that kind of thing. And the other side of this is the opposite, where maybe you haven't built that core group that can help you. I truly believe that, the saying, we are who we hang out with. I truly believe that, and I think that it reflects a lot of times in the threes and the Three of Pentacles, where you're not building with the right people. And because of that, you're building towards the wrong thing. I won't say wrong. You're building towards things that misalign with what your goals are. And it's up to you to refocus and decide. That doesn't mean break up with your friends, right? It just means, like, you have to recognize when you can lean into it and when you need to pull out. Just, yeah. I don't know. I would say that comparison is, like, what's that saying? Comparison is, like, the root of all evil, or something like that. Yeah, Ruby, I like that analogy. I wouldn't even say off balance. I would just say, like, you put the wrong wheels on the car. Car still goes, but it doesn't go as efficiently as it should. I think people think that things happen for everyone at a certain time frame, and I just don't think that's true. Alrighty, Carrie. So we have Carrie, Mona, Marissa, Pretty in Pink, and then Crow's Nest. Yes, comparison is the thief of joy. Thank you. I knew somebody was going to come in clutch. Thank you, Ruby. You're welcome, Ari. I need, like, a sign. So many people compare them, like, come here and compare themselves to people. I need a sign that says comparison is the thief of joy. And I'm like, this is your reading. How'd your so how did your live go, Ruby? Mona, you are up next. All right, let's go on to Marissa. Hi, Luna. You want to go uppies? Come on. The entire live stream is here for you. Come on. Uppies. Yay. Okay, let me know what your question is. Say hi, Luna. Say hi. Yeah, Ruby, you kind of have to Mona, I'll get to you after Marissa. Luna is my cutie patootie. Let me see if I can get her. Here she is with her little gray hairs. She's getting so old. Okay. I'll do the shorter one because it'll block the screen. But I gotcha. All right. Oh, Mona, I don't do third parties also, so you'd have to change your question anyway. What time is it for you right now, Ruby? What time zone are you in? 9 is really late, but nah, you're leaving me already. Fine. All right, let's see what you should do about this, or what's going on with your toxic home environment here. You have okay. You have the Page of Wands, the Three of Swords, the Four of Swords, and then the Ten of Cups. So I think your first instinct to get the help from someone is the better call. I'm going to describe what I see here. And again, I like to empower my folks to make the decisions that are right for them instead of just giving them the answer. So I'm going to just talk through it, and then I'll give my opinion at the end. The Page of Wands, or court cards can represent people. I think in this case it does. I really think this person is going to be the catalyst for a lot of the things that come after. The Page of Wands indicates a bit of an adventure, right? I know adventure kind of has a really positive connotation in that, but it just means that there is just overall going to be a journey to be had coming forth. But the thing about the Page of Pentacles is that I feel like this is igniting the spark of freedom. Pages are, I really like that this is the Page of Wands instead of, say, like the Knight of Wands, because the Page of Wands is not so impulsive. They're a little more naive in how they handle things, so to speak. but they still sit with things for a while. They have educated themselves in how they are maneuvering, and they are just really with a fresh mind wanting to explore the world around them. And in this case, in this context, I think that this is the spark that you need in order to start that process of moving. Now, with that being said, it's not going to be an easy journey, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end. The Three of Swords to me indicates that this is going to weigh on you one way or another. This is going to weigh on you very heavily. This is really like I pulled this. I tend to structure my free readings as 3 cards. So this was the original center of your reading. This is really critical to understand that it might feel like the wrong decision for a long time. And one of the things that I always talk about it, or that I try to talk about it in some of my readings, is how you can reframe that energy to flip it, right? So in the reverse, this is about recovering from that grief. So there is going to be a need for you to assess that. Despite that, because this reading is starting off with feeling free, I don't think that this is necessarily the wrong thing. Also, fire and air very much so support each other in that forward movement and a lot of growth overall. So I mean, if I'm adding my own personal opinion on top of what I'm seeing here, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just, it might feel like it for a little bit. So we have the Four of Swords. So this is the part that, if we're looking at this as like chronological time in a story, right, where you kind of break free, you get out, you do your move with the help of your friend, you're kind of feeling a little beat down about it and a little unsure about it. This is where you are asked to really sit with yourself and chill out for a bit. Don't take too many things on in this period. This is where you really want to focus on healing and feeling more rested and rejuvenated, so you can start to get out of this phase. And then once you can start to understand this, once you start to clear your mind and put some of the anxiety behind you, you start to realize, like, oh, this is the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is really the card I like to call the wishes fulfilled card, where you are emotionally fulfilled, you feel like you have done all the right things, and you can kind of close off this chapter and step into a new chapter. When tens pop up in the tarot, this is really indicative of ending a cycle, and it feels very much like you're ending a cycle on a good note. So me putting my opinion on top of this, Marissa, I think that this is a good move for you. Like I said, in the middle of it, during it, while you're in the midst of it, it may not feel so hot. I do also like to caveat when people are in situations like this and they get tarot readings to remember, I'm a girl slinging cards on the internet. Always do what is right and safe for yourself at that time. So while this might mean that eventually, moving out is probably the right move, always assess what is safe and right for you in that moment. Okay? Whoop! Almost lost my cards. Thank you, Luke. Yeah, reminder, guys, if I am yeah, I'll be here next Friday. Good. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, like I said, you're Three of Swords. You're going to be out of sorts for a bit. It's kind of one of those is what it is things, but the benefit outweighs the cost, I guess. Mona, let me know that you're still here. Pretty in Pink, are you still in the queue? Okay, awesome. Good luck though, Marissa. That's a little scary, but I wish you all the luck and obviously, be safe with all of that. Yeah, I think that feels like the right thing, and it sounds like you have all your bases covered. So at the end of the day, if you're being safe and you have um, you have people around you that can help keep you safe, then to be honest, that reading kind of feels like we go for it. All right, Mona. So over the next 2 weeks, totally agreed, Ruby. Um, you have the Five of Swords, the Ten of Cups has made a reappearance. Three of Coins is a big card. We've gotten that a few times tonight as a community. I feel like our social circles as a community right now are being highlighted. So, um, all right, yeah, that feels more right. So I reversed that because it conflicts a bit with the Three of Cups, in the sense like the elementals don't match up. So the Five of Swords, I feel like the Five of Swords is really about letting go of any lingering things that have been weighing you down mentally and being able to get from under that burden of that and opening your mind up, clearing your mind up to be able to receive all of the better things. So, whatever has been weighing on you over the past recent few days, maybe this recent week or so, I think the next 2 weeks are about letting all of that go. So that way you can really enjoy your family. The ten of, I think I might have said 10 of Cups. I'm getting to the point where I have been on live too long. 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles to me is where you can finally start to enjoy the community that you have around you. This is very much a family card, but it doesn't have to necessarily be just your blood family. It kind of feels like your chosen family in this regard, paired with the Three of Pentacles, where you are building and growing with them. And in the middle of this, I mentioned, in general, that tens are about being able to feel like you are wrapping up a cycle. So this is another example of feeling like you have really, in letting these things go and letting them no longer weigh you down mentally, you're now able to receive the things that are happening around you that are really good in the physical world around you. So you're no longer stuck in your head. You can receive really great family ties, reconnect with family, stuff like that. And then on the flip side, we have, I feel like I said Three of Pentacles, and I'm sorry, this is the Eight of Pentacles. This is where you are really growing and building, so to speak. This is where you're building all of that up into what it is that you are, whatever your goals are when it comes to family and giving family and stuff like that. I think that's what this is really saying. But it starts with letting go of those mental weights that you have. You're welcome. All right. I don't think Pretty in Pink is here. So Crow's Nest, if you're still here, let me know. Oh, thank you for the follow. My first Twitch follow of the night. Thanks for being so patient and hanging out with me both on YouTube and Twitch. MVP for the night, Riss. You guys have been such a lovely community tonight. I love the uplifting energy and supporting everybody through their readings and giving some really sound advice. Also, MVP for the night, Ruby, hanging out and chatting with me. Luke, thank you so much for moderating. You're awesome as always. I think that everybody else is, oh, thank you for the subscribe. Appreciate it. Thanks for the reminder, Luke. Yeah, Ruby, you'll have to let me know. I need to turn off and turn back on the notification pings on YouTube. Sometimes they don't always work. So next time you go live, I hope to see it. I want to hear your voice and see how you do and give you support, because you're always over here doing that for me and Sil. So next time. Also, if you guys aren't, Ruby has an awesome tarot channel, so go ahead and subscribe to Ruby. She's super sweet, has really awesome content, and apparently is now doing live streams. So alrighty guys, I am gonna get off of here. I'm shocked Queen Luna did not force me off, but she was very gracious to let me have 45 extra minutes. Alrighty guys, you have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye.